Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be meeting with Danielle Di Tommaso. Danielle has been a platform artist for Sebastian for the last 17 years. Now he owns his own salon, Main Society Salon in Bolton, Ontario. And he's going to be demonstrating for us a long to short haircut using razors on wet hair and then scissors on dry hair. So let's get the party started.
Danielle, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Yourself, Heather?
Great. Danielle has an amazing studio here. He's going to be demonstrating a cut for us, but because he wants to do it in 2 stages, we're going to see him demonstrate his cut on wet hair first, and then we'll bring you back for the technical step-by-step. So Danielle, tell us what you have in store for us for your haircut.
Well, today with my model Raquel, what I'm going to be doing is she's going to be taking off a lot of her hair. So I'm looking at her face shape, and she's got a great texture and great eye features. So what I want to do is I want to kind of open up some light to hit her face and give her a nice strength in the jawline. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm subsectioning the back into 2 sections, and I'm going to be using my tool of choice, which is the blade. The reason why I like to use this tool is because I'm able to remove length and weight at the same time. And what I want to do is I want to come in with my blade, and I want to start to remove weight in this area. What that's going to allow the hair to do is to tuck in more towards the head shape and be more of a form-fitting type of silhouette.
For our viewers, Danielle, we know you have an editorial background. You've been 17 plus years as an artist for Sebastian International. And I know you have a lot of aspirations. You've worked in the studios with various different artists, but you're Canadian,
yes,
right? Okay, so
Canadian.
in all these last 10 years plus that you've been going back and forth, what brought you back to Canada?
Well, it's a funny question. It's like all my life I've been trying to get somewhere warm, and once I got there, I want to come back to somewhere cold.
Oh.
But Canada is where the home is. It's where the heart is. So I've been back now for just about 2 years now, and I still have the pleasure of traveling. It's just now I get to almost pick and choose where I want to go and what I want to do, which is, you know, a real blessing. Okay,
Oh, we've definitely removed the weight, haven't we, Danielle?
So you can see as I tilt my model's head up, it starts to, you know, hug the head shape quite nicely. There's still length in here, so even though you saw a lot of skimming coming off, I still kept the integrity of the length of the hair. So I'm just taking my second subsection here. I'm always eyeing, even though it's a very free-form technique, there's always a little bit of method to my madness. So what I like to do is, specifically on this shape, is I like to hold my fingers where I want my length to finish off, and then I release the weight, and I see where I need to remove that weight, and I never move my fingers. I'm just lightly skimming towards the length.
What do you see as an industry trend for 2010? Where are we going?
We're going into a little bit more movement. It's so nice to see that people are starting to step away from, you know, really flat, straight hair. So we're starting to see a little bit more movement in hair, a little bit more sexiness in the finish. I'm going to be working through my sides, and obviously what I want to do is continue the length, dropping towards the front. A way that I like to do that is always think back to, you know, competing and, you know, distance, you know, how far we're stretching the hair, how long it's going to be once we've stretched it back. So I like to always pull my section of hair back a little bit.
Let's remind our viewers, how much does the hair stretch when it's wet compared to dry?
It stretches anywhere between, you know, a quarter to half its length. So, you know, you really want to watch your tension. I think that's a really important point to put up.
So it can range from 25 to 50%.
Yeah.
And this would depend on the the natural elasticity of that hair. So
Right. And how heavy,
beware.
and how heavy our hands are. So if we're really holding this tight, and we go and take the length off, it could pop a lot shorter than we want it to. So once we get the angle in there, try to release your tension and let the blade do most of the work. So lightly skimming down to my length. I want to really accentuate the line in the front and almost have it almost disconnected where it's super long. So again, I'm always molding my shape, I'm looking at my line, so you can see the line happening, forming. And then, once I finish my shape, I'll go up in detail, remove a little bit more of the weight. So here what I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna be drying my form or my shape, and then I'm gonna come back into my beautiful model, and I'm gonna start to release a little bit more weight when the hair is dry.
Now we're at the finishing point of the haircut. You've dried her off. I noticed that you used some flat ironing to smooth the cuticle, and now you're going to show us some finishing techniques.
So I'm just going to be going through here, working on my perimeter first, and going through, you can see how much of the weight is in the hair still. So I want to lighten that up a little bit. So I'm just going to be going in straight with my shears at about a 90-degree angle. Just remove a little bit of that weight, and what that allows the hair to do is start to tuck a little bit closer to the neck. So what I'll be doing is doing 45-degree angle here, and then I'll go in a little deeper into like a 90 and remove a little bit of weight on the mid shaft.
So when you're going deeper, would it be correct in saying your comb is closer to the scalp?
Yes, closer to the scalp would probably be a lot easier for people to understand. I know a lot of people don't cut with angles or degrees of angles. So I would say hold one, on the base of the neck on a 45. You can just kind of go in like this, and then when you're holding it up here, it's about 2 inches from the scalp.
Okay,
And
great.
you're taking longer snips. So I'm just working my way through the side here and just removing a little bit more of that weight. And what that helps the hair to do is kind of push forward naturally. So by removing weight, you're allowing the hair to actually have movement on where it wants to go, more of a free-form type of finish. You can see where the bevel of the hair is, and that's really where I want to concentrate, removing some of the weight.
That's real key, is not looking quite so much when you're finishing the hair as the technical shape, but the actual bevel and where the hair is going to be reflective and how it's going to flow with the shape of the head.
I think that's so
features.
important, yeah. When we find out where exactly hair grows from and we cut more to the natural fall of the hair, chances are that client is going to be able to maintain her hair somewhat similar to the way you cut it, because you've actually cut it in its natural state. And this is where a lot of the free form shape takes place. So again, just letting it fall naturally in my hands. And I also like to find the bevel in here too. So I know where I bend the hair is where it's going to start to open up. So this is where I need to pay close attention to. You never want to kind of come in and cut above that, so you get a little bit of spiky. What I want to do is I want to open up this area, so I like to bend the shape. And so that tells me exactly where I want to go in with my blade, and then I can bring it back out and just carve that C right out of the hair. With my model's hairline, she has a little bit of growth patterns, so I like to take it bits and pieces at a time, so I set myself up for success and not failure.
Oh, now that's a great point. And I notice you're working with a bit of an offset too, which is allowing you to curve towards your wrist, right?
Absolutely. I think, everybody asks me, Daniel, why do you have so many shears? And, I think the best thing is, I look at them as a tool, like a paintbrush, and every paintbrush or tool does something different. But you're right, the offsets do allow you to be a little bit more comfortable while you're using your shear.
Unveiling, wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna spin my model here, and that way you can see the actual silhouette of her hair.
Nice and slow for the viewers. Very nice.
So again, a little bit heavy looking from the eye, but tons of texture and movement. So what I'll do is I'll spin her around, and then I'll get her to shake her head a little bit and show that it does have a little bit of an airier feeling to it. And this is a lot of the stuff that I do for editorial shoots, is have day wear go into a little bit editorial, and what I'll do is I'll just grab a dryer and
Great.
get some air on her hair.
So from work to runway, here we go.
So again, it's very simple to take down and replace it back into somewhat of a clean silhouette. So great way for anyone to go from a day wear type of look into an evening wear to a fun wear, club wear.
Well, that now concludes another episode of Scissor Boy. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank
It's been
you
an
very much.
absolute pleasure being at
Absolutely.
Maine Society today with you. Good luck in your future salon, and until we see you again, snip, snip.
Snip.
Hi, I'm Jill. I'm Kirsten. I'm Nicole. I'm Kristen. And we're from the Marvella Relay Campus, and you're watching ScissorBoy.com. Snip, snip.